hesitate to tell the truth. Close to about 10 years, we haven't got bored. Recently, it's called situationship.
I think the secret is best kept amongst functioning on vibes only. What?
We're not out there.
They are making it their social media debut here. Do makeup brand owners get tired of being asked for free products?
Yes.
Of course. Goes without saying. Yeah. PAC has made its debut at Cannes 2025. Hello everyone, welcome back to What's the Point Season 2. Now listen up. Today's episode is a little personal because after this episode, you know my eyeliner is going to be equal on both sides. My foundation shade will not be a mystery and makeup will probably last more than my lunchtime. And that is all because today I will understand how these products are made, what are their formulations, how I should use them right. That's what, guys, how to use makeup right. Not just use makeup, but use it right is the real point. So today I have with me two very cool humans who are actually changing makeup game inside out. Please welcome on board with me Bonish Jain, the founder of PAC Cosmetics, and with him we have Vaishnavi Jain, who heads the product development team and is also a professional makeup artist. She probably knows more about setting sprays than I know about my life. So today we are talking about building a brand, makeup trends, and everything chaos, beauty, glam, everything that goes in between. So let's dive into it, guys. Hello, both of you.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have you both here. And
So are we.
and I would like to begin by asking you what is PAC Cosmetics and how it came into existence, where it began, or what made you think, oh, I'll get into beauty and I'll actually change it.
So I think it's more of a personal story rather than having it like a very fancy story. Dad was doing a few import into cosmetics, and that's when he realized that okay, there is some space in this particular industry. I happened to finish my education post 10th. I did not want to study, so I went to him and I said, I don't like studying. Is there something that I can do? So he said, probably you could explore this as a career or as an industry. Is when he just left me with a thought, and I said, okay, I'll first understand what makeup is when I started to learn makeup, know more about makeup, what is it that India is doing. I learned makeup artistry for a longer time so that I understand the product side. Then I did a few odd things or jobs here and there. Is when I understood that there's a lot of space in the market, where Dad had just done the establishment and he was busy with a lot of businesses, so this was not his core focus. And around 2014 is when things were changing a lot for the beauty industry. Was a lot of regulations had come in, so it was kind of difficult to penetrate into the market with a makeup brand because there were legacy brands sitting for a very long time. But that's when I understood that a brand that comes out for India and from India will really make a lot of difference. So a lot of conversations had begun during that time, and meeting people and understanding what is it that they like. And they said I did not have an option ever. I always had an option on the higher ends. I never had an option where I could get something that is done for India.
For India, for our market.
For our market.
In all kind of.
In all demographics.
In all
so
aspects.
Price, quality, products, colors, skin tones, something that suits our weather. So I think there was a lot of complexity around this. Is when we were in about 2014.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry to cut you, but 2014, and you said you started after your 10th.
So 2009.
So you started when you were like around 15 or 16.
16.
And from there, everything from scratch you took ahead, from
Yes.
meeting people,
Yes.
forming what the brand is going to be like, studying what needs to be done.
Correct.
Guys,
Yes.
16-year-old, what are you doing at 16?
So I think initially it was more inquisitiveness to actually explore what it is about. But honestly speaking, I was a little passionate about money. So it was more to do with how that's going to stem and how that passion comes up. And then during that time, I was always happy that we will build a business, and that's when it shifted to that we'll build a brand. That's all about it of the inception side of it. 2014 is when e-commerce started to pick up. I think it was Amazon that picked up beauty first. Is when I contacted a friend and I said, can you help me, because I was not that well versed with how things work. So probably I picked it up and I said that can you help me to list our products, and that's when we were doing brushes on a very larger scale. So we began with brushes in the early ages, and of starting few orders and a few people and a few comments, and I think after that the journey never stopped. We learned on the go, we moved, things moved, product lines moved, makeup became the center focus, brushes became the talk of the town, members started coming in, teams started to form. I met her when I was selling makeup.
So that's your story.
Yeah, so that's our story.
Selling makeup to a professional makeup artist.
So
That's
I
lovely.
think she was learning makeup at that point, and I used to go in person to meet people, and you know that time I used to go to sell in person. Is when I met her, and that time she did not give me that much bhav. That came in after a couple of years,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's how we met, and then then there's a lot to go forward,
Right.
and this is where we are today.
So I would just like to ask you from right from the beginning of when the brand began to actually, making it big, taking it up and onwards, how many years it took with everything, even if it comes to manufacturing it, thinking, planning everything, or most importantly, did you ever had a gig that this is how big or this is a particular level I want to take my brand to?
So initially it was just to do with that, okay, I want to build something for
Yeah.
India, and I was wanting to make like a good business. But honestly speaking, if I had to answer your first question, practically it has taken close to about 12 to 13 years to get where this is today. So even though if you had to take it into inspiration that you've taken it, that the brand started building when I was in 2009 or 10, 4-5 years just went past by, like learning and getting things up and all of that, and then came in the year of improvisation. So 5 years went into that. The actual success line came in around 2021, 22, 23, like the last years. So if today I had to look at it, I think it's been 14-15 years is when this now looks like an establishment where brand is established, things are on point, products are there, we're across India. So I think it takes that much time, and I think if you lose that consistency during this time is when
It's
don't
mostly
find-
about consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency. You don't have to stop. You have
Correct.
to constantly
Correct.
keep going. That's the key, I think, guys. It's always consistency. Please remember.
Fun
Don't
fact,
stop.
fun
Yeah.
fact, she feels that after she got married, it's the success. Brother feels that after he joined business, it's how the business has flourished. I don't know who's the right one, but I will give
I think it's the consistency.
It's the consistency. It's beginning it, then taking it ahead, people
Yeah.
coming in,
Yeah.
and I think that's how anything will flourish. Our lives, businesses,
Correct.
everything. That's a form mantra we all have to
Yeah.
generally follow, I feel. So I think my next question is to Vaishnavi then. Since you joined PAC later and you were already a makeup artist, so what was your journey like as a an individual makeup artist to joining a company which is already it branched out and it's already out there? So what was that shift like for you to coming in here and becoming the product development head here? And what was that shift like? Ki ab pehle to makeup artist is like, I'll do my clients, I'll do my thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to selling it, so you have to consider everything. It's
Yeah.
a whole big.
So I had always been like a very top-notch brand user. Like I would always go and pick up the most expensive thing on the Sephora stacks or wherever, like Ulta or Sephora, wherever I would just go and say, okay, no, this is what I want, this is what I want, and he would be like, I am making it for you. I'm making it for you. Just relax. You give me the sample, I'll make it for you. You don't spend so much money. So, but as a makeup artist, I think in India, the perception is such that if it's expensive, it's good. So we always thought that, expensive stuff and we learn makeup, but that's not the key. I think when I started off, I had my whole vanity that was of PAC. I won't lie, but because we were short on budget, because we were just beginning to learn and stuff. So at that point of time, I had just set up the whole vanity, which only had PAC. And then I went to him and I'm like, you guys have just given us all PAC. And I'm like, I don't have any other brand, and clients are asking me, what are you going to use now? And apparently after that, I realized that, sometimes it's more towards the practice end, wherein I'm practicing more and then becoming better. But this is off the record that I think everybody says that I joined PAC during 2019, but I think we were developing the products while we were even dating. So he used to come to me and get the products checked, and I'm like, no, this is not the formula that we want. No, this is not the formula. So it was just a tag that came in, I think, post 2019. But since I began doing makeup was when I started checking products also, honestly. So I would just say that for me, it was never a transition. I felt that I become better makeup artist, and I can also become a better, product developer, is what I feel. It goes hand in hand. So it's not like I transitioned from an artist to a development head. No, that was...
I think that's fair as well, since you're first hand using the products and not on just yourself, on people, on so many different skins, so many different textures, in different weathers, in different settings. I think that is...
Yeah. So he would come to me with the samples, and I would be like, okay, I'm going to check it and get back to you. And then there would be like days where I would be checking. And then I would tell him, okay, no, we need to change this. And then again resampling. So one product almost takes us about a year or maybe more than that to develop a product that is made for India.
For India.
Yeah.
My God, that 1 year is a very long
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes that long. Because we get into sampling, then we get into testing the packaging, then we get into testing how it's going to pump out. So every minutest detail to the major details, I think it takes that much time. Also, we're working with cross country. I don't know if many people know this, but PAC is a brand that does everything across, like everything is from abroad. We don't do anything here. Every product is imported from all the other countries, and we choose specific countries for specific formulas. Wherever we like the formula from is where we pick it up from. So a lot of time goes into cross-border working as well. And because of going through so many levels of tests, I think that's like a fair timeline.
Absolutely. I mean, if these things are going to go on our skins and everything, they need, I think, please take as much time as you need, more if you need. And when you said everything is manufactured abroad, how did that come in? Like, was it always, is it the lack of manufacturers here, or is it just that it's a better standard or something?
So I wouldn't say it's a better standard. That'll be like, so I would say that India is developing, and India is doing a lot in terms of manufacturing, and that entire concept of having it here for our people is really good. But at this point, we are still struggling to find the right people who can do the scale that we are at today, and who can also match to the level of formulation, packaging, whatever it takes at this point. So I think we are not there yet from an India perspective, but I think we're getting there. And when it comes to why our products are imported, I think it's also to do a lot with how we keep our quality checks in point, how we want our qualities to be very specific, and consistency is something that we look at, because when we started, it was probably a few bunch of products, probably a few bunch of quantities, maybe it was 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Now when it extends to 100,000 pieces, I think we need that kind of maintenance in terms of quality, so that we can do justice to the consumer who's put in trust with us.
Correct.
And is why we keep our standards really high, and that's the only reason why we choose it to be kept overseas. It was not intentional, but during the phase, I think we understood that there are these levels, and when you keep going to the top is when you keep realizing that you need to maintain this consistency to get where you want to.
Of course.
So I think it came in from there.
Great. So since we are in a very social media or digital space, everyone is on social media, everyone is using makeup these days, and it has moved from a more only function based makeup to an everyday makeup. So there have come up so many brands, so many already legacy based brands out there. How did you put PAC on the map with this amount of competition out there?
I think when we initially began, we were more of a pro brand, like it, even if you see the name, it says Professional Artist Cosmetics. So the idea was to ensure that the professionals are taken care of, and when we began in that roadmap, I think a lot of professionals came in to buy products for their relatives, for their friends, brother, sister. So that's when they started saying that why don't you open doors for everyone? And this is a thought that they left us with, that why don't you brew this and not keep it only to the professionals, and also ensure that we're taking it to the larger audience. Because if we have a great product, so basically if the professional is very happy and if the professional is talking really great about the product, is going to, like, it's like a domino effect that the consumer is going to like it.
Right.
So because of that, they were very confident that when you go out, it's going to be really good. That was one part of it, and I think we focused a lot on how quality is taken into consideration, because when a pro puts in a money, because I know she's a pro, so when she puts in money, she's looking at a value add, she's looking at what is the quality that we're trying to give her, what is it that we're trying to add value to her kit, vanity, or her usage, and are we true to our claims? Like if we say this product is going to last you for 12 hours, does it do the job? If it does the job, she's going to pay us back again. So likewise, we're going to make a great customer for a longer time. I think these efforts, included with a lot of publicity that came in from a lot of pros talking about us, I think they were the first. You can say mouth-to-mouth publicity was something that was at the core for PAC in its initial stages. I think that grew up. We also had an advantage that we moved a little earlier than how the market caught the trend.
Right.
So I think a lot of new age brands have come in the COVID era.
Yeah.
We were just a little prior to them.
Right.
So I think that was one advantage. And COVID and the entire social media and this entire age where we are in, where a consumer today is very knowledgeable, wants to grow more, learn more, wants to use makeup more, I think it's just got scaled up. And hence the usage now from just 2 products or just function based to now and every day, because that's what an expression is. So if you're able to express yourself, it could be through any medium. A lot of people have chosen makeup also as their expression.
Correct.
And is why you see the industry booming, you see makeup brands booming, and I think quality was the reason why we got ourselves on the map.
Yeah.
E-commerce has always helped us to reach out to the consumer, so that's been a great boon where consumers are talking to us individually. Social media, you put up something and the feedback comes in directly to us. So all these things have helped. We've got 2 critics in our house, so we've got a lot of help coming in from our inner circles itself. So I think that's...
Do you also does this ever happen that, because she is a professional and I think she will always be head, like, no, this is something I want. Is that something you guys have clashes about?
I think she'll be a better person to answer this.
I think most of the times I'm like, I want this product to be in this manner itself, and he'll be like, but we have to launch it faster. I said, no, we can't, we don't want to launch it faster, we want to launch it better. So I am always like, and I'm a Virgo basically, so I would just say that I'm more like a perfectionist. So until and unless I don't get to the point, like to what exactly I want from the product, I don't let him launch the product. That is...
So now you can be rest assured of how much hard work goes for me till I get there. But nevertheless, I think she adds in the perspective for more what a consumer would think like, and we put in our side into the finance, to how the product would be marketed, to what would it look good, how can we do that, how can we make it in the right price at the right point. So I think there's a balance. Of course, there are a lot of areas where she's saying that okay, it has to be this way, but then it's becoming too expensive. It's going out of area where we cannot sell it at the right price for the Indian consumer. So, but we put in our points. I think she understands our points from a business side. We understand her point, and then we come to a middle ground. Is how we've been able to. But it's been fun. It's fun.
That's what I meant to ask. What it is like. What is life like as business partners also, and like real life partners also?
We have a lot to talk.
Yeah.
We both can talk throughout
Never
the
running
day.
out of conversation.
Never running out of.
Because either we have conversations about the brand, either we have conversations about the team, about how the products, how about other people are doing, social media, influencers. So we've got something every day, and it's been close to about 10 years. We haven't got bored. And
I think
yeah,
the
touch
secret
wood.
is best kept amongst. Like if this is the combination, then I think the secret is best kept, is what I feel.
That's fair, fair.
And yeah, I think that's how it works. Yeah, it's
That's
much easier.
great. That's great. And since you mentioned team, I wanted to ask about PAC as a young brand. You guys yourself are so young, running a company at a young age. I also believe you work with a very young team. And we have a little controversy surrounding Gen Zs that they are lazy, लोग उनको hire नहीं करना चाहते. What is your take? How is it like for you to work with Gen Zs or a young team?
I think I've heard a lot about this particular question, but for me, I think they add a lot of value coming in from how they see today's world. And if the brand is focused on catering to that audience, I think you need to learn from the audience.
Right.
We may have different perspectives coming in, but if my selling point is to a Gen Z, I think I need to hear what a Gen Z feels about the brand,
Right.
how our content feels about, what our content is looking like to a Gen Z, how the price point is looking for a Gen Z, and how are they attributing this to a connection to a brand. And that's the best feedback even any research paper cannot give,
Right.
and that's what a Gen Z can give. Hence, in our
And they are very
Very
upfront,
unfiltered.
Yeah.
unfiltered.
Very
They
unfiltered
don't-
and
Yeah.
raw. Yeah.
Very raw.
a lot of millennials look at them in the meetings and say, how are you able to speak this in the meeting room? But I think that's the flexibility that you need to
Yeah.
have as a business if you want to achieve where you want to go.
Right.
And flexibility and agility is what will take you to the top. Agility is because today they take branding, marketing, content, like entire content game.
Right.
They've changed how they perceive it.
Correct.
If you're able to touch their hearts, is when they're going to bounce back to come to you.
True.
So if you have those audience in the company itself, I think it helps a lot to understand
Right.
what's clean, what's niche. I think they have a lot of different vocabulary which I cannot catch up to.
Yeah.
But definitely I do understand that. They are on the right track. Of course, the generation has led them here. So there are a couple of cons that come in with it, but it's not like a con, it's just like a difference. They like to work in their zones.
Right.
There's a lot of word called vibe. So if the vibe
Functioning on
matches,
vibes only.
so if it's the vibe that matches. During our times, I think we did not have these flexibilities or rather these words that we ever heard that if the vibe matches is when we'll work. We were just asked, you just put your head down and just go to it. But yeah, there's a lot of correlation with them, and we try to catch up and learn. I think it's the blend of both. Blend of being here as we are, and having that attachment with the Gen Z crowd. I think it's both. We bring in the business acumen. They bring us the aesthetics, the feedbacks, perspectives, brand connection.
Right. So have you ever been in a meeting and been like, "Kya ho raha hai? I don't understand what
Yeah,
you're
because
talking
suddenly
about."
from a meeting, it has gone to a concert, and it has gone to what food is going to get ordered, which place is nice, or where we're discussing a business meeting, or like more towards an influencer event or something, and how they've gone to deciding which food place would be first, where the vibe would match, and is when we should look at it from a marketing perspective. So I think it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah,
right?
it's fun. It's just that later you need to get them back. But other than that, I think they do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
They'll also teach us a lot of how they will shape the coming India, and how businesses will grow based on. And like you said, they're very unfiltered. So
Right.
they don't hesitate to tell the truth.
Right, they
And
will
when-
not sugarcoat things for
Yeah,
you. They'll not
yeah.
try to people please,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of millennial generation
Yeah,
has grown.
true,
true.
कि like हमको सबको खुश करना है, please.
And we've been told कि नहीं बोलना चाहिए था.
Yeah.
क्यों बोला? But नहीं बोलते तो we wouldn't have got what we
Right.
wanted. Like if you're looking for a right service, product, for that matter, if you're just wanting to give a feedback, is how we will improve.
Right.
And we get unfiltered feedbacks in the office directly. So I think that leads us to a lot of improvement and less errors.
Right.
Because you've got like your right feedback in, and then you get feedback from your audience, and I think that's
And I
also-
think that is very important to build a brand as
Yeah.
well. And I think that is something both of you must also have. Like you said, you give unfiltered opinions कि मुझे ये चाहिए.
a lot of
So I
them.
think Gen Z is
A lot
more
of
of a
them.
state of mind than an age.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
True.
Apart from the vocabulary and their slang words,
Yeah.
that's something they just keep updating every
Correct.
day.
Yeah. And
But-
they've got very different words. I don't know how they catch up to it or who's like, but they can only explain what they know about.
Yeah.
I heard
Any
my sister
words you
talk.
like are your favorites? Like
I
some
think I
slangs?
heard this recently. It's called situationship or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
Situation.
And I was very amazed as to first I didn't understand what it meant. After I was
What was your first take on like क्या होगा situationship must be what?
for me in basic words I meant there is a situation which will now go off and you will be back together.
Yeah.
But then they told us, like my sister told me what it means, and then I said okay, I just would like to stay away, but now I know what it means.
Yeah, there's a lot more. There's
Yeah.
benching, breadcrumbing. There's a whole vocabulary just in the dating section of it. And the general life is something different altogether.
Totally,
Yeah,
totally.
All right. So, like you said, you also work with a lot of influencers. And what is that experience like? How does a brand approach influencers? Have you ever had any influencers be very snacky? Because I think we work with brands. We get a lot of times. We as ourselves get these treatments.
You want to take this?
No, you can take this.
Okay. So I think it's fun working with them, one.
Of course.
Second, we also need to understand that they as creators have a lot on their plate.
Right.
And sometimes things don't go as planned. Maybe they were planning it from a different perspective and the brand was looking at it from a different perspective. Not to stick to the book or look at, what content we want to get published. I think that time doesn't work anymore. It's more about freedom of
Right.
what you feel about the product should be spoken. I remember in the initial times when, this was not like a career now it is.
Right.
I'm talking back in the days of 2017, 18, 19. I used to approach creators by my side and probably handling the Instagram DMs and speaking to them. They are just people like us, even though if it feels like influencers are living. But that's the kind of people that they are. They had human connections, and when we spoke to them, we understood their perspectives also.
Right.
And they never like to stick to a book, because
More
an
creative.
influencer is more about creativity.
Right.
If you pause them into their creativity, then you're asking them to actually, like how we were asked in school, कि ये रट्टा मारो और ये लिखो, is when you will get 10 marks.
Right.
If there's no room for creativity, you would not like seeing that person or hear their opinions.
Right.
And if it's unfiltered and if it's true, is when you will also see that, because when you speak about a product, and if you like that product, if you've spoken about it, your audience has bought it. If that experience is not the same on the other side,
Right.
then the audience is very clever today to know that the influencer has been paid or
Yeah.
she's spoken about an untrue. So going in that lane does not make any sense.
Right.
Answering to your second question, have you had any tantrums from any influencers? I think yes and no, both.
Yeah.
We do get them, and you just need to know how to navigate,
Right.
because there's a lot going on their life as well. They're also struggling throughout their journey,
Right.
because everyone wants to level up. This age is such that you want to level up and go up, and during that times you can have your highs and lows. If you just be patient and understand it more from a calmer space, to know that okay, things could be difficult on the other side.
Right.
If you just open that perspective in life, I think things become much easier, and then you will not feel like, oh, I'm being troubled, oh, this influencer is ghosting me. Things could be wrong, just be
Yeah.
patient. And then I'm not saying that things are not going wrong on the
Right.
like on the influencer side as well. They could be, but I think this particular navigation helps it to
So I
ease
think
off.
in the end, it's just best to navigate through it instead of like just cutting a deal or
Yes.
like
Yeah.
like, हाँ, नहीं
Yeah.
करेंगे अब
Yeah.
काम.
Very diplomatic. This answer was very diplomatic.
But I had to be influencers at all.
Very filtered, not
Very.
unfiltered.
Yeah,
very
they might
filtered.
like you for being unfiltered or might change also कि अरे यार इन पे हम tantrums नहीं throw करते, अच्छे से काम करते, प्यारा brand है यार. So my next question to you is that I think for Vaishnavi more than you, because what is the process that goes into formulating or making a product, coming up with a product? How do you decide कि oh next up हमको ये product चाहिए? Is it just trend based? Is it more about कि no, I think this product is something we need, like a whole market research kind of a thing?
I think whenever there are so many trends coming up, like every now and then there is a new trend coming up, but I think we stick to trends that are going to be staying for a longer time in the market, because I think again, if the product, like today if I launch the product, it's not going to get famous immediately. It takes about 6 to 8 months, and if the trend dies by then, I think the product is just going to be staying in my warehouse and
Right.
like not of any use. So it's trend come, I would say it's trend and something that is meant to stay in the market. That's one thing that we see. And secondly, I think we see the gap that is there in the market, probably like the liquid blush trend, like it is here to stay. So we launched a liquid blush with a very great influencer, and then eventually we understood that okay, this is really going to stay. So then we came out with like more colors in the brand, and I think that's how we develop the products. One second thing, and even I'm wearing the liquid blush. Also, whenever we see the products, like we have our shows, trade shows going around all the year. So whenever we are seeing the product and we find that this is something different and this is going to really hit the market very well, I think that's when we pick that product. But again, like I said, that product is not immediately coming to the shelves. It is going to take some time for us to develop it according to our weather, because again, when like he said that all the products are made internationally. So the international weathers, their skins and our weather is like very cross. So it takes a lot of time for us to like really check and then get it on the shelf. So yeah, that's how like I said, 1.5 years is a normal time that we take for one product to come.
So you don't like just hop on trends.
Yeah,
If this thing is come up, so we'll just launch
Also
it, because again it won't be feasible.
It's not sustainable also. Like today there is a trend for like doing your liner in such a manner, and tomorrow there's no liner, and we'll be like, okay, now what? So that's not how it works. We have to see how it,
You need to have a long term.
yeah, like a long term vision
Right.
and something that is sustainable. Like trends also have to be sustainable, not like today and tomorrow. Not that.
And also, you're not a new age brand. You're more of a mature brand. So you need to look at formulation, longevity. You need to look at a lot of angles for it to stay. And there are certain trends that happen on social media, but they are global. Maybe will not enter India at all. So having a product from that, perspective is not going to give you a lot of benefits or a lot of results onto your financial reports. You like she said, gaps is something that really fills in a lot, because then you know that okay, this is something that consumers are not finding is what they will come back to us for. And I think that's like a balance of look. Of course we have to look at trends, because then we understand consumer behavior, consumer pattern of buying. So trends is a part of it, and then the development side of it, and there's a lot more that goes into when we see formulations in our eyes, and we understand this could hit the consumer. But then again, it goes into a lot of testing. Most of the times the most trendy products don't make it to our final development, because they drop at 6 months. At the trade shows we've been shown that this is going to last for a day, and as soon as we probably eat or in the evening dinner, because we during our trips we're all together, and then she says, this didn't last though. And now I say, but okay, don't, thanks, you did not say it in front of them. Because we are after the trade shows we're meeting with these bosses, and we're meeting all these colleagues. So I'm very happy that she doesn't say unfiltered reviews there. But we try and get these hands-on experiences throughout, is when we decide that this will not make it to the shelf.
Yeah.
Right. So it is also a lot on the networking that you have to do out there. See what the manufacturers, I think the trade show you're talking about is when the manufacturers are offering you that this is something we are coming up with.
Yeah, so it's more like R&D labs that have worked a lot on a product and have given us an ideology that is this something that would suit the Indian side, and then we need to look at if the formula works for us, if the weather, like all that she spoke about, and then is when we kind of understand. PAC is not something where it's a ready formula on the shelf and you just paste the label and go. That's probably something that today's brands or people
I
feel
think
that
there's not a single product that we've picked from their R&D department and just said that okay, this is how we want it and just send it. No, never. Like
It always is a
Yeah.
customization.
always, always.
there are a lot of base formulas that we have, and then we can pick it up from there and then put it up on what we need and how we want to custom. But it's not something that you just put a logo and send it across. So it's not as easy as it sounds. It may look from the outside that it's easy, but I think there's a lot of, if you want to take it to this level, then you need to do all of this. If it's more of a trendy, like a experimental brand, I think you have a lot of options to play around with.
And when it comes to, since we were speaking of global, I'd seen PAC has made its debut at Cannes 2025. And how did that journey, how did it come up that, oh, we should?
I think that was more like, we've always had this feeling in the heart that we will be the brand from India to put it up on the global map. So you've always heard of global brands
Yeah.
coming to India. You've never heard a brand going from India to the global side. So our entire work for so many years has always been into getting a product or getting a formulation, or rather doing everything that will appeal to the entire community overall in terms of makeup. Now, not keeping it restrictive today only to the Indian region. We have a lot of customers that fly around from South Africa, Mauritius, everywhere across, and they love buying our products. In fact, they hoard the products because we are not available in those countries. But this was always the vision, that we will be the brand that puts it up, like puts India on the global map from a cosmetic or more from a makeup perspective, because we've always heard or felt that Europe has the best makeup, America has the best makeup. Trends are massies, aunties coming in and buying makeup for us. So initially we were always introduced to that type of culture, where we always felt that they have the best standards, the best products, and we thought of it in a different manner. And I think that was one part of it, of how we can go there and how we can do things, and that's why partnerships with someone who's going on the global front. And this is something that's going to continue happening, and there's been a lot of requests coming in from a lot of global players as well to put us in those countries. We're taking in those considerations and seeing how we can put the right way, because every country has different rules, regulations, so maybe we'll have to adjust a few things, but that's been the vision since start.
Does it put a little pressure on the brand then, that okay, now we have got to this standard, now we cannot fall from here, we have to just scale up from here?
I think it's fun, but
Yeah,
that pressure is a lot of fun, in case if you always vision to what you want to see, and if that vision is coming to life, of course it will come at a cost of a lot of not hard work, but a lot of adjustments, a lot of new learnings, a lot of new coping up. So I think it's a balance of everything, and understanding perspectives from more people. When you're able to understand a few people's perspective is when you're able to incorporate them and take it to a success story, where a product will mass appeal. Like if you had to take the Apple story, Apple does not need to convince, because they've had a product so great that it has taken everybody's perspectives into mindsets. So I think that's how you level up as a company. It's a lot of fun. I think we enjoy a lot. Criticism coming in from anywhere, but just active criticism, which is actually something that can help us in doing it, because in today's world, I think to put a
trolling.
critic is it's
Yeah,
just like
घर पे
one
बैठ के.
and you can just do that. But I think if it's when it's constructive, I
Right.
think it
Yeah.
helps us a lot.
So do you also like try to do this, that because like you said, trolling will come no matter what you do,
Yeah.
no matter what you are doing. If you're a brand, you're an individual, anything trolling comes. How do you manage to like really filter it out, or like keep yourself space, create a safe space where you don't let that get to you? Or does it get to you really?
Not really.
I think we haven't faced any such major incident like.
But like I said, even if we face something, I think it'll be in between us that we are uncomfortable. Also, I don't think the world will ever know that we are uncomfortable, or we're.
Yeah,
So
but we've not faced it only in from a trolling perspective, I think, but it's more to do with if you talk it out, like if is
Yeah.
this something that's true? If it's true, do you want to change it or do you want to continue to it? And if you feel that if you haven't been on the wrong side, or if you understood a different perspective, that you had this perspective in mind, or this level of marketing or this area, and if you feel that this was not something that you wanted to include, and someone gives you a right feedback, I think
Like
yes.
we said, we have the best critics in
Yeah.
our own surroundings too.
We don't need other people.
We don't need other people.
I think we are
Initially, I
bashing
think-
each other in that.
Yeah, and initially I think a lot of consumers said that, you know, you need to show makeup on deep skin tones for us to understand. I think that was one critic or
Yeah.
one critical feedback that stayed with us, is why we were the brand that did a lot of work on color. Like from a foundation perspective, we were standing at about 25-27 shades back in 2017-18, where I remember YouTubers and people writing that, you know, writing to legacy brands, just fun comment, please learn from PAC on how to do color and all of that. I understand they had different challenges, but yeah, that was a critic that stayed with us. And I think these types of trolling, if you are like, if you consider that as a troll or a criticism, but that helped us to shape a lot in the beauty world for us in terms of campaigns, always having a concept of having the color shown on a fair, medium, deeper skin
Right,
tone.
more
So, you know,
inclusive.
yeah, more inclusive beauty.
Right. So,
So,
people see how it is on the real skin.
Yeah.
And you know, they like to see that
course.
you're vouching for it,
Right.
and that was the first thing I think that helped us a lot. So if it was a key thing where our brand was put up on the map, I think this was also one area which did a lot of work for us, because we were the brand for color being back in that days as well.
Right.
So I think that shaped up, and mouth publicity for that particular
Right.
thing took us up.
Now, while we are at inclusivity, do you think makeup, how do you see makeup as? Like, people have different perspectives when it comes to makeup and beauty. Like, how beauty and makeup are associated. People are like, कि आप insecurities छुपाने के लिए उसको makeup का नाम दे के कि ये मत करो. So, what is your take on that? What is beauty and makeup for you?
I don't think makeup is for people who are insecure. I feel makeup just enhances and boosts your confidence to a level wherein even if you're getting trolled, you feel like, okay, yeah, whatever, I don't care. So for me, I don't think that makeup is ever going to hide your insecurities or anything, but I think makeup just enhances, and you know, you just feel confident even if you wear like one lipstick or maybe a lip balm also. I feel most of our girls, like, we always carry like 10 lip balms with us, and we are like, okay, lip balm na, uske bina मैं कहीं नहीं जाऊंगी type.
घर का अलग, bag वाला अलग, car वाला.
Exactly. So I feel that makeup and skincare is not something that is going to you know, make you feel insecure, or it's to hide your insecurities, but
I think
it's
it just gives you that
yeah.
sense of comfort,
yeah.
and you feel good about yourself. I think you do it more to feel good. You know, there are a lot of things that you do to feel good. I think you wear your best perfume because you want to smell. You're not doing it for someone else,
Right.
But
you're
for
doing
your-
it
It's
for
always
your
about the self
Self,
than about
yeah,
someone else when it comes to makeup or beauty.
Yeah. I remember many incidences when we used to sell makeup individually. A lot of people used to come back, and after she's bought, because it was a new brand back in those days, they used to come back to buy a second product or a third product, but they used to say, I was very happy with the last one. It made me feel very confident. I think that shift where you know, she felt very afraid of using so many products, because back in those days we were not using 8 to
Right.
10 products. Things have evolved over time.
I think COVID gave a very
Very
good
good
boost
boost
for
for
makeup industry.
industry, yeah.
Somewhere I
everyone
feel
was so-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone
Everyone
became
wanted
an
to feel
influencer.
nice. Everyone becoming an influencer. Everyone was creating content.
Yeah. So I think that changed, and that confidence building ability for feeling good makes a lot of difference. It's not something to always hide a scar. It's more to do with how you feel about it.
Right. So it's basically how you perceive.
Self-expression. Yeah. It's just a
So
self-expression.
That's I think also PAC's tagline. An expression of you. That's great. And now that PAC has went on a global scale, everything. What does success mean to you now, or from what it was back then when you began, and how do you see it now, and what do you see it to be in future or ahead of you?
Wow, I've never thought of it. But if it has to be put into words, I think from where we began, we've
Yeah, we've come a long way.
We've come a long way. like everything, like everyone says, it isn't easy. It definitely is not easy, but it does give you a sense of fulfillment. More than happiness side of it, it's more a sense of fulfillment that whatever you thought of is what you were able to put it up into action. And today, doing it for a larger community, for a larger set of audiences, people, when people are happy about it, when they write to you, when they share success stories about how this product helped them. So many consumers write to us that this made my day, this shade made it, I got a lot of compliments for it. So I think these little happy moments and stories, internally in the office, externally outside, I think that's what keeps us going. And now that we are here, we won't stop until we make it to the top. I think that's something that even my key people get when I write to them that coming here itself was so difficult. So now that we made it here, let's not stop until we get to the top. So this is something that stayed with us, and that's how humans evolve, right? You want to always go to the next one. You always want to go to the next side. So if you keep this and a good intention in heart that you want to do justice to, we get a lot of different sides, makeup, cosmetics. You get a lot of other offers, a lot of things that we can manipulate and make a lot of bucks. But if you stay true to a good intention, it may take a longer time for you to get that success, but that success is very long lasting. So if you're looking at a very long happiness period, I think you stick to a good intention with a good heart, and that will give you a lot of success. That's what success means to us. Stay happy, be happy. That's her motto, but I just took it from her. I could hear her telling me that that's what she feels about. But you enter a room, however successful you are, but if you enter a room and if you make people comfortable around you, I think that's what real success is. You could be the who's and who's, but if people around you have felt at peace, I think that's what matters to us. And that's why we're very low key people. We are not spotted, or we're not out there.
They are making it their social media debut here with PAC Connect. Thank you so much again for that.
Thank you.
And I think one last thing I would want to ask both of you is, since you've seen the journey of from PAC Cosmetics being just products to becoming a brand, there's a difference, right? You're not just products, you become a legacy. It's a thought that you present as a brand. What would you advise, or just put out there for people who are aiming to begin something for themselves, create a brand of themselves for themselves, be it a product or as individuals? What is something you have taken and you would like to pass on to our new generation?
I think she can answer this also, because she's had a lot of hardships throughout the way. So probably she has a different take. So
I think it's just consistency and never lose hope. These would be my two mantras that, you just have to keep going. Like he said, even if everyone in today's generation is going to have their ups and lows. When you're up, just don't feel that, okay, you are up and you are here. Now this is the end. No, it's never the end. It's always going to be like, you have to go on. Even if you are at the top, you still have to go on. And if you're low, you just can't say that, okay, I give up, because that's not going to work. So it's just like wake up every day and do the same thing every day and just keep going every day.
That's amazing. Consistency keeps coming up with everything. That is actually the key.
True.
I think that's what helps you to keep up the momentum. And for a new person, or say for a new generation, if they're looking at starting it, for me, I think it would also add a lot of patience. I think because you spoke about Gen Zs and you spoke about the new age, I think something that we lose very quickly is our patience. And for it to see, so if you are today seeing someone, a friend or a colleague, someone really at the top, please ask them how it all began. Because it began very messy. It got very beautiful after a very long time. So like you said, from a seed of a product to now going to a brand, it started with a lot of complexities, understanding business, a lot of other things about how the world works, and a lot of other things. But what kept it going was one, consistency, and the second was patience. Don't rush into things. Don't rush. we've had immense failure in the beginning. We still continue to have it even today. Like if you feel that at this stage we don't have failures and we're really like kicking it everywhere, we're not. There are a lot of areas where we still have to work a lot, but every failure teaches us something very small. If we've got that learning, I think then it's helped us to move forward. Let it be from a product orientation, from a company orientation, from an employee orientation, so this particular part, and play a game for a long time. Unless you play it for a very long time, you're not able to judge is this success or is it failure, because you've not given it your 100% or you've not completed all the shots that you had to give for it. If you've played all the shots in the book that were there, then you could probably say that okay, this didn't work for me.
But that doesn't happen only, right? The
Yeah.
shots in the book will never end. So again,
Correct.
it's consistent.
And
Yeah.
it's back, and if you're patient, like if you're very, very patient, then I think it's going to come your way.
Yeah.
And if you've done all the hard work. Nothing's easy in this particular world. With the kind of competition that things are coming up with, I think it's becoming difficult in every industry. Let it not just be makeup or beauty, but even though it's influencers, you pick up anything and you will have the top 20 and you will have the top 200 and the top 500 and some 500 that's wanting to come to 200. So I think this ball's rolling very fast. If you're very focused, I think you'll make it there.
Very focused and consistent, guys. Please
Patience
remember.
as well.
Patience.
Patience.
Patience, consistency,
Focus.
and focus. That's what we are leaving you on for now. So guys, we have a little game segment for you. There are 3 games, very small. We begin with first game. So this game is most searched questions on the internet about your profession. So right now I'll not focus on profession. I'll just keep it very makeup related, because that's the whole industry we are in now. So the first question is, do makeup brand owners even know how to do makeup?
Yes.
Yes, for me as well, because I learned it prior.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about how other people do it, but yeah, I learned a little bit, so I know.
Yeah. So this makeup brand owner does, guys. And do makeup brand owners get tired of being asked for free products?
Yes. Of course.
That is a
Goes
very-
without saying.
Okay, I think Vaishnavi, for you. Why do girls open their mouths when putting on mascara? Like, why do we do that?
Why?
Natural.
I don't do it, so I don't know.
But I think it's more of a natural act.
Yeah, I
when you're
think-
trying to do
I think it's just the precision that makes you
Put
go,
your heart
yeah.
and soul into it. So it's just focus, guys. It's the focus. How do you come up with shade names?
Oh, pretty easy. I think we just open the floor to the Gen Zs and they'll come up with so many names, a family of the name that they want to. Like
Yeah.
for foundation shades, they chose like all the beaches side of it, and like how they can put it under like a family where they can then run the family for a very long time. So I think that's the thought. It has to be more quirky, more relatable to a consumer.
And easy pronunciation.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that people can remember it.
That's fair. That's a very good point. This is funny, guys. I think I would like to ask this as well. Can a makeup artist fix my whole personality?
If it was unfiltered, I would say yes, but no.
Fair enough. For you, I think, Vaishnavi, do makeup artists get annoyed when clients talk too much?
Of course, you're losing focus, right, when you're talking too much. So yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so we move on to the next game, which is guess if this is a real profession. So I'll name a few professions and you have to just guess if it's a real profession or no. Some of them sound very weird. I myself was surprised they are real, but
I'm sure you know the answers to them.
of course I do. I know the answers. So the first is a snake milker.
What?
Snake milker.
No, I don't think this is a profession. Nobody would like to play with such a dangerous.
It's a real profession, guys. It's the people who take the venom out of a snake. Yeah, so I don't
that's
know
what
why
it's
they
called, snake milker.
milker. Yeah, I don't know why they had to go with milk. but-
This
Yeah.
segment is not for me. My GK is very weak. guys.
The second profession is a face feeler.
What?
A face feeler.
Feeler.
Yeah, how
Or
you
filler.
feel your feeler. Feel how you feel your face.
That's an esthetician, right?
No.
No,
She's not talking about you doing something to your
not the
face.
filling part.
She's
feel,
just saying
like
it's just
how
that
you
to
feel
feel.
a person.
No.
Sensory thing. Feel.
For sure, no. Just tell me no.
It's a real profession.
Every answer you'll give no only.
Because the whole thing it says it's so difficult. Like
It is a real profession. It has something to do with the sensory part of skin. Like the person is apparently checking the texture of skin and all that. Yeah. Plant therapist.
yes.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yes.
That's fake.
I think
That's
yeah.
fake.
No, because people talk to plants and
Yeah.
people are this
Yeah,
I've
but
read
this is
about.
something
Yeah.
people do internally. No, there's no designated
Profession. She
therapist
said about
for
profession.
it.
Do you do this? No, she did not ask for that. She
No,
asked.
like I thought होगा ही ना मतलब profession
Professionally
तो.
तो अभी नहीं कर रहा है कोई, but people can actually look into this, guys.
You never know. It can begin.
Yeah.
You can become one.
Anxiety is something that is
Yeah,
very much in the air, so probably yeah.
very. Gen Z slang translator.
ये हमें ज़रूरत है मतलब हमें चाहिए ऐसा कोई जो हमें आके
Tell me
बता
no, it's not a profession. It's
Not. It's
but we need a profession like this
yeah,
now.
we really do.
I
This
think
should
that
be a
these words are coming, but they'll come. Yeah.
I think it's the scope now. The last one is a dog surfing instructor.
Dog surfing instructor
Yeah.
होना चाहिए ना
No.
होना चाहिए
It's a real profession.
है ना I've seen 1-2 videos
फीकू मटका कुछ तो yes no true and false वाला आंसर
सब नो बोलेंगे तो अच्छा नहीं लगेगा
But no, I think she was very sure it was. She had seen videos.
She's seen a couple of reels.
I think these unhinged professions, things, everything we learn on the internet only.
Exactly.
So that is this for the guest profession. Now we'll move
Thank
on
you.
to a little rapid fire round for you both. We generally don't have a rapid fire, but since we thought there are
Two.
partners, so we need to refill it. Okay, so it's a rapid fire. It could just be a one-word answer or very quick answers. The first question: one word your partner overuses in business meetings.
You have to tell, no? I have to tell for you, or
You tell for her, she tells for you.
so you tell first. I'm thinking in the meanwhile.
I'm also thinking no
Cut.
cut
ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. We'll move on to the second question. Yeah, do you ever fake agree with each other in front of clients?
yeah
For sure. Because
most of the time
because when she's explaining, she's not even looking. Ki, is this possible or not? So I have to. I can't say, but I just say yes.
and he'll be like okay say yes okay say yes
Yeah. Last time you fought, was it about work or general life?
I think work.
yeah
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure work.
we
No
don't
gen-
have-
no
yeah.
general ones.
Yeah.
But surely for work, because she wants to stick to something and I want to do the other side.
Right.
So it will work.
Makes sense. I think we, by this time, we know the answer to this, but who's the can't sit still even on weekends amongst the two of you?
me
So you're more outgoing like that.
Always outgoing.
Thoda thamo. Yeah. So the next question is who's the idea machine and who actually makes it happen? I think again we know, but
Mix of both
Yeah,
of us.
both of
sometimes
us.
it's me, sometimes it's her, sometimes it's vice versa.
it's a vice
Yeah.
versa. It's just how it comes and goes.
Who sees what's happening first
Right.
is someone who catches it.
That's such an amazing team to have, I swear. The next question is when you both disagree, whose vote is the final verdict?
Brother.
Just bring in a third person, right?
Very simple. Where who will hear both our thoughts, business thoughts, product thoughts, and then come to a center stage. I think brother and father both. I think both
Yeah.
somewhere or the
yeah
other.
I think
come
even
to-
father yeah,
That's a very fair.
because
thing to
father
do.
is also equally active in
Active
the
in the
business
business,
so
yeah.
yeah
Who does the team favor the most amongst you? Like your team, office team.
Wow. I think they see her less, but
Yeah.
they are more happy in her presence because she's always the good one only.
Yes.
And when we are
Yes, because saying yes.
and when we are working, we have our disagreements, agreements. So there's a lot of things, but I think she's the happy-go-lucky one.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people favor her more. And she's also the one who's chirpy. So
Yeah. And who's the more likely to make an impulse decision?
I didn't have
I
to
think I'll
point.
be very honest. Not me. Okay, last question, guys. Who functions more on the vibes and who is the planner?
Vibes,
Planner, yeah.
I think we got that right now.
Very evident.
But that was that, guys. Thank you very much. This was a very fun set.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you
was
so
really
much.
nice. It was
Thank
really
you.
nice. We didn't feel like it was like having like an entire podcast. It
Yeah.
just felt like we were just talking and just chilling and
That's
Yeah.
That's the
Perfect.
vibe, guys. We are here for the vibe. But yes, it was very, very fun to have you guys here. Thank you so much for making your time. And it's a great pleasure hosting you guys. I enjoyed the conversations. I learned a lot about makeup. And watch out for the eyeliner in next episode. So that was all, guys. Thank you so much. That's a wrap for us on this episode, guys. If you ever wondered what a makeup brand or how a makeup brand comes to life, from ideas to formulations to your makeup shelves, now you know. And let us know in comments what you enjoyed the most in this episode and what new did you learn apart from my eyeliner being on fleek. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an episode. We drop a new episode every Friday. I'm Nikita Daniel, your host, signing out. Thanks a lot. See you next week.